I think what's lesser known is how federal funds are being used to pay for DEI and where that money is coming from. You guys have done research showing that actually a lot of the money that is being used to push, sort of woke programs is actually coming out of money that was meant to help poor kids, which in a time, when test scores, pretty much every metric of education is declining, these districts are actually, tell me I'm wrong, honestly, please. These districts are taking money from meant for poor kids and using it to do like woke programs. Is that right?
Yeah, so I think you're referring to our hijacked report.
Yes.
And this is something that we published at the end of May. And it basically looks at 61 school districts across the country who basically spent, I think I said this earlier, but almost $20 million on all these different programs. So you've got different funds. They're called Title One, Two, Title IV, and then you've also got IDEA funds, which is for, disabled students. So this is millions of dollars, and this has been given to these districts by the federal government in a lot of cases to help disadvantaged students, some of the poorest among us, to get a leg up. And the unfortunate part is, the way it's sometimes spent. So it's often for race and gender-based programs, equity, restorative justice, DEI, and SEL. So SEL are those surveys that I mentioned.
Yeah.
So
Emotional learning.
right. And, this is just to push ideological content a lot of times. And it's teachers who are kind of trying to redefine discipline, grading policies. I mean, this kind of ran the gamut. We looked at a lot of different programs. So sometimes we'll hone in on DEI or whatnot. But really this, if you go through to this report, it has, just tons of examples of some of these key takeaways. You have a group called Panorama Education, which has gotten coverage in recent years that was paid almost $2.5 million by 17 school districts for these social emotional learning surveys, this platform that they have to facilitate these surveys.
What is what do you mean by like a survey?
A survey
Yeah.
would be something that teachers give students, asking questions about invasive topics, whether it's, political beliefs, their gender. They could ask sometimes, we've seen things about asking about like your demographics. And this is stuff that, parents don't want their kids to be asked about in school. And
Sure.
there's actually a federal law that, allows you to opt your child out of these programs, but you really have to be kind of your own advocate and your child's advocate, because oftentimes it's, they find a way to give these surveys to students. So we saw, SEL surveys, you've got DEI training. So we have Elk Grove Unified in California as well, that paid a group called Improve Your Tomorrow $4.4 million in Title I funds, which is, once again,
We're in the
Title
wrong
I is
business,
for,
Kendall. 4 million for a slideshow that you and I could probably make with AI in about 2 hours.
it's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's proven extremely lucrative, kind of, I would say, since the racial reckoning, I guess you could call it, of 2020. But they're basically just facilitating programs, and this is once again Title I, which is our funds that are truly meant for disadvantaged students. And this program is for, students of a specific race and gender. And that is a shame,
And so
because
it's legal. So just to be clear, they're spending this money and saying you can only come if you're like a black girl or something like that. Like you can only come if you're a black boy or a
so I
Hispanic
know it
boy.
sounds crazy, but the wording they use is, quote, young men of color.
Gotcha. So
Which
everyone but white people, basically. That's kind of the theme in a lot of the DEI
Yes,
stuff.
yes. And
Yeah.
I believe it
Okay.
was specifically targeted towards men. And it's worth noting that, there are certain demographics who are disadvantaged and they might need more help. And we want to get those people all the academic help they can get. You just have to make sure that you do it in a legal way that doesn't discriminate based on race, because that would be a violation of Title VI.